This video, we're going to talk about evaluating composite functions. You need to know the notation of a composite function first, that this notation f of g of x is that f, the first function that you see, is the outer function, g is the inner function. So f of g of a number c is going to be g evaluated at c. Just write that down here. Which is going to give us some number that we're going to plug into f. So there's a couple different ways we can represent the function. We can list it as a set of ordered pairs with a table like this. We can also just represent it as a formula like we're going to get in the next few problems. But let's look at the table method here first. I'm going to try and show you that the inner function that we evaluate first is g. So g of 3 right here is 9. So this is f of 9. There's 9 on f, and the answer is 3. G of f of 1. So f is the inner function. F of 1 is -1. G of -1 is a -5. Now we have a couple different ways that we can deal with it when we have the formulas. We can find the composition first and then plug the number in, or we can do like we were just doing up here and plug the number in to the inner function and then plug that evaluated answer into the outer function. Let's keep doing it the same way that we have been doing it, where we evaluate and then plug in. I will show you how to find the composite function in the next video, where you plug a function into a function, but we're not going to do that right now. So f of x is equal to the square root of x plus 2. G of x is equal to 2x. And I want to find f of g of 1 is f of g of 1. So g of 1 is going to be 2 times 1 is 2. F of 2 is going to be the square root of 2 plus 2 is the square root of 4, which is 2. Now for number 4, f of x is equal to 2x plus 2. G of x is equal to 4x squared plus 5. And we want to find g of f of 1 is g of f of 1, like so. F of 1 is 2 times 1 plus 2 is 2 plus 2 is 4. So that's g of 4, which is 4 times 4 squared plus 5. 4 times 16 plus 5 is 64 plus 5 is 69. F of x is equal to 2x plus 4. G of x is equal to 4x squared plus 1. And we want f of 0, f of 0. So we're not going to be using g of x at all this time. F of 0 is 2 times 0 plus 4. 0 plus 4 is 4. So that's f of 4. And that's going to be 2 times 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 4 is 12. F of x in number 6 here is going to be the absolute value of 20x squared minus 9x. And g of x is going to be equal to 10x minus 7. And I want to find f of g of 11. So that's f of g of 11. G of 11 is 10 times 11 minus 7 is 110 minus 7 is 103. So this is f of 103. That's going to be the absolute value, 20 times 103 squared minus 9 times 103. So this is going to be a big number. Let's go ahead and use our calculator to help us simplify. So 20 times 103 squared minus 9 times 103 is the absolute value of 211,253. And since that's already a positive number, I don't need the absolute value bars. F of x is now 7x plus 9, and g of x is equal to a negative 1 divided by x. We want to find g of f of 3 is g of f of 3, like so. So f of 3 is 7 times 3 plus 9. It's 21 plus 9 is 30. It's g of 30 is going to be a negative 1 divided by 30. Now we have f of x equal to x minus 6 over x, and g of x equal to x squared plus 9. We want g of f of negative 2 is g of f of negative 2. F of negative 2 is going to be a negative 2 minus 6 in the numerator, and a negative 2 in the denominator is negative 8 over negative 2 is a positive 4. This is g of 4. It's going to be equal to 4 squared plus 9. 16 plus 9 is 25. Just a few more example problems here in this video. F of x is going to be 2x plus 4. G of x is going to be 2x squared plus 3. We want to find g of f of 2. So that's g of f of 2 is going to be f of 2 is going to be 2 times 2 plus 4 is 4 plus 4 is 8. That's g of 8. And it's 2 times 8 squared plus 3 is 2 times 64 plus 3. 2 times 64 is 128. And 128 plus 3 is 131. f of x is equal to 16x squared minus 6x. G of x is equal to 16x minus 6. We should find f of g of 11 now. So that's f of g of 11, like so. G of 11 is 16 times 11 minus 6. That's 160 plus 16 is 176. So that's 171. And so we want f of 171. And so this is 16 times 171 squared minus 6 times 171. Again, I'm going to use my calculator there. 16 times 171 quantity squared minus 6 times 171 is big number 466,830. 466,830. Last one for this video. F of t is equal to the square root of t to the fourth plus 30t squared plus 225. G of t is equal to t plus 3 over 3. I can simplify f of t down first before I do anything else, because this is a square root of a perfect square. T squared plus 15, like so, and that's squared. So when I have something squared on the inside and the square root on the outside, that's the same thing as the absolute value of t squared plus 15. If I would consider that, that would always be something positive. So I don't really need those absolute value bars. So that's going to be the same as that. So that's going to make my life easier to simplify the equation down a little bit before I get started. Now I want to find f of g of 15. So that's f of g of 15, like so. G of 15 is 15 plus 3 divided by 3 is 18 divided by 3 is 6. So I want to find f of 6. F of 6 is going to be 6 squared plus 15 is 36 plus 15 is a 51. And that'll be it for this video. Come back next time and we'll talk about compositions of functions where I'm not trying to evaluate to get a numerical answer, but I'm trying to evaluate to get a new function that does the same thing as plugging the inner function into the outer function, but it does it in one step.